You articulated your commitment to teacher retention and some other areas that parents are also concerned about. What measures will you propose, especially given your time in schools, to increase support and the retention of teachers in our district classrooms?
Yeah, this is and thank you for the question. This is one that I don't grapple with, but we need to fix, and on multiple levels, right? Here's what we know. What we know is teachers don't go into this for the money. There is not enough money for teachers to do this work. But we have to value teachers on every level. They are the professionals in the building, and we have to treat them like the professionals that they are. And that bothers me when I walk in the building and we're not teaching them like the professionals that they are. It's interesting to me that teaching is the only profession, and Tiffany, you know this, that people feel like everybody can do it.
I know I can't do it.
Right? Everybody feel like they can,
I can't
they
do
can
it.
teach.
Don't put me in a classroom.
And the reality of it is, teaching is an art. Not everybody can do it. And so we have to value our teachers. We have to support our teachers because we know they're not doing it for the dollars.
Right.
There's no money in it. We have to value them. We have to address the issues that they're dealing with in their classrooms with student behaviors, and we have to address all of that. That's how we keep good teachers in the classroom. I know this. We're losing good teachers to charter schools. We're losing good teachers not just to charter schools anymore and not to surrounding counties, but other businesses.
They can stay home and tutor and substitute part-time.
Or do it online.
Yes, and earn more.
And earn more dollars. And so we have to value our teachers. We have to support our teachers. We have to make sure our leadership who lead in our buildings are listening to our teachers and taking their concerns seriously. That's how we address it. That's why they're leaving. When you talk to teachers, they're not saying I'm leaving because of the money. They're
But
saying,
we are one of the lowest paid states in the United States.
We are. And again, thank you for going out and voting for the millage, which increased teacher salaries. So one of the things that it did, many teachers this year got anywhere between $5,200 to $7,000 based on the pay scale, things of that nature, and what was negotiated with the teachers union. So they received that. And that did keep many of our teachers in the classroom. And so we're excited about that, and it's closing the vacancy gap. So all of that's working. But at the end of the day, if teachers still feel disrespected and undervalued and feel as if we're not teaching or treating them like the professions that they are, they're still leaving in droves. And so we have to make sure that we're addressing their concerns and we're hearing them out very clearly with some of the things that they're bringing to our attention. I'll give you an example again. When we take a look at the student code of conduct, if a teacher is writing a student up on a referral and that referral goes to the dean turns around and talks to the student and sends the student back to the classroom and the behavior has not changed. Now the teachers feel defeated because that student is still disrupting the class and preventing others from learning. And so we have to address, even with our admin team, even with leadership, how do we make sure all students in that classroom is getting the education that you and I desire them to have? And so we have to address all those issues in order for us to ensure those teachers are supported.
You shared that you are willing to advocate at a state level for teacher support to increase teacher retention. How do you propose that we keep Duval schools with our A-plus teachers in our classrooms?
Once again, the power is in collaboration, okay? I do have to go line by line with that budget to work with the superintendent and the others who are also elected officials pertaining to the school board. But this is not just a DCPS issue. When we look at collaboration, we want to reach over to the mayor and the mayor's administration to see, hey, is there any way that we can incentivize our public teachers? And then at the same time being able to partner with other organizations, like how this is a partnership with Myrtle Avenue Brewery to be able to host this. If there's a way that we can incentivize our educators within the public sector or the private sector to be able to bring resources in to keep our top educators in Duval, I think that those are some low-hanging fruit, and I believe that it's past time to make sure that we properly compensate our educators when it comes to pay. But like I said, also reaching out on that state level to see how we can bring those dollars back down as well, and making sure that they're adequately compensated, and then seeing that if there's any way that we can put a little bonus structure together as well.
Yeah. So in my day job, I hire teachers. I've hired teachers all over the state of Florida as my job, and also within other states currently, or educators. And the teacher pool is shrinking, not just retention. Getting people into the teacher pool is shrinking tremendously. Like if you look at UNF's School of Education and the size that it was 10 years ago, it's dire. And so we don't need to just retain teachers, but we need to make it attractive for people to continue to get into the education field as well. Let's talk about teacher retention and support. You alluded to this in the very beginning of our conversations. You shared that the school board really can't do more about teacher pay. What measures are you willing to take to propose an increase for support and an increase for retention of our top teachers in our school district?
Well, what I would do is I talked about a retention, recruitment, and retainer plan. As far as recruitment, we need to get the best teachers. We need to recruit all over the country. With that, try to get the legislature to approve more than $200 million to really create some incentive programs to bring teachers in, which includes, hey, we're going to pay for your home, your mortgage for 90 days. We're going to give you a $500 additional stipend for 6 months to bring you in under a 3 to 4 year contract. So you're going to retain that teacher, and it can be competitive, because once they see that, teachers, maybe they'll come flocking in depending on how lucrative it is. To retain good teachers, I don't think they need to be left out, especially what we would see as tenured teachers. When they do these incentive programs, too many times, once they start messing with the money, as I can say it, and the teachers, instead of having a good, hefty pay, they're usually what? $25, $30 more on their check because of taxes and everything else. I think it needs to be a clear bonus that career teachers get, and that needs to be implemented rather than penny pinching a good healthy bonus like, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000 more a year. And the bottom line is money. We have to give them more money and incentive to retain good teachers and to recruit good teachers.
I could talk about teacher recruitment and retention for hours. I won't do that to you or anyone else listening. But I have recruited all over the state of Florida. I've recruited out of other states. And I can tell you that if you go to a Michigan, Ohio, places I used to try to recruit teachers from, there's a large number of colleges of education in some of those places. And you say we're going to compensate you at $42,000, $47,000 a year, they're going to stop the conversation right there.
Yes.
And so I heard you say you wish teachers could be paid more. In this role, how could you be an advocate for that to happen?
Well, again, it's a legislative process at the state level. I would be an advocate for it. Whatever programs to say, hey, I'm on the school board, Duval County, and our teachers are not paid well. Not even the ones coming in, as well as the ones that have been here a long time. We need to push the legislation, because as a school board representative, I don't think I can go out and just go, you have to be careful about that, those political lines. But I will push for better teacher pay through the legislative process to make it permanent, not the incentive, because that goes away. Once the money runs out, we got to wait on
The next
to
one.
the next one. And I do not like that at all. And and I would encourage parents, teachers, everybody to get involved with their congressmen and say, hey, we're about education. And right now we're not doing very well, especially compared to the rest of the world and with other areas. And push your congresspeople, local, state, and say, pay attention to education, pay attention to education. They need to get paid better. They're going to bend after a while because they want your vote.
Yeah.
And they're going to work with you.